This champion is actually kind of insane at the moment. Yeah, we know Nocturne is strong, but why are Grandmaster junglers in Korea playing him to get to Challenger? Why is everyone playing him to get to the chosen goals? Because he doesn't basically worry about mind games in the early game. He doesn't worry about cheese. Raw, good jungle fundamentals. I mean, yeah, there are mind games against the enemy jungler, that kind of stuff, but there's no fighting the champion, right? It's all about simple piloting, simple game plans, and execution. And obviously, if you're a good jungler, you can do that. And obviously, you can do it quickly. So, lethal tempo against a Lee Sin, who is obviously invading us on the bottom side. This I did not know. Again, always blind into these videos so I can see what you see for the very first time. Now, from the Nocturne's perspective, we don't know this. And obviously, you guys all know me. Ward your damn buff, right? It's not difficult. If you're Nocturne, Karthus, Fiddle, Brand, Zyra, Morgana, it doesn't matter. If you're farming jungle of any kind, ward this sucker at 102, 103, all the way up to 108 if you like. Gives you enough time to get back to this side. You can see what the Lee Sin's doing. And then, of course, you can do your Raptor start and vertical juggle and so on. Kennen now, as an intelligent top lane, knows, hey, my Lee Sin's doing this. The Nocturne must be doing this. Therefore, I might be ganked, and so I'm going to ward. And Nocturne goes, well, don't exactly know where Lee Sin is. At this point, I know he's on the bottom side. I know he's not on the blue. Could I take it? It's a little bit rough. So I'll just go ahead and gank the mid lane. And that's why this video in particular was interesting. Again, I don't know what happens, but you can tell from the match history, okay, look, when someone's classified as an aggressive Nocturne, you don't always expect that watching this champion. And he just decides, look, I can't coin flip the vertical jungling here in case Lee Sin crosses over. I don't know where he is. I might as well just go ahead for the gank, which is guaranteed on the pushing set. And then the Lee Sin decides to finish off the wolves, rotate, and die. And what you saw there was why people are playing this champion through and through. If you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's converting junglers to gold, to emerald, to diamond, to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle diff every game you play, click the link below or head to virkayu.gg. Lethal Tempo gives you that attack range bonus, gives you the attack speed cap violation, if you will, gives you attack speed, and once he's used his Q, once he's used his tether, the E, the thing that fears people, and once he's used a spell shield that blocks spells, he also gets an attack speed steroid, right? People don't realize that about the W there. If you actually create that shadow barrier and block the next ability, you get that bonus attack speed, so it's crucial to use it intelligently. We then take his red, but we don't greed for the rest of the quadrant because we're farming jungle. We see, look at bottom lane here. We've got a Nico, we got an Ezreal, they're out of position, they're low. Healer's burnt here, they're going to try and push all the way in. It's not enough. It's not enough. And of course, use your spell shield accordingly again, which is waiting for the Dusk Bringer. The Q, the long trail. And remember, on that Q as well, you get to have bonus movement speed and attack damage. So you really want to make sure you're hitting that trail because when it hits a champion as well, they leave a trail too. So hitting it not only benefits you in general, but also benefits you while chasing them, yeah? So keep those things in mind. And also keep in mind when you're doing this sort of champion game style, and you think, I need to farm till 6. You are true. You are correct in that sense that you should focus on getting 6, but you got to make the best fundamental jungle decisions. And sometimes when you're being vertical jungled and you don't know what's going on, you can still do a gank. And when you can take a whole quadrant, sometimes it's okay to take one part of the quadrant and then gank a lane as well. Because now you're 3-0-1, Iron Spike Whip in the bag, Control Wards, Kindle Gem, juiced ready for an early Stride Breaker. Lee Sin has actually gone ahead and taken his blue side, he's taken the top scuttle, and this is where his mistake is. Why the living hell doesn't he do this first, right? Because the Nocturne's obviously going to base up the ganking bottom lane again, come to the top side and get these Raptors and these Krugs. The Lee Sin knows that 99% the Nocturne started Raptors and went up to Krugs, right? We saw that on the Kennen gank here. As we rotate up here, Nocturne should shadow this, pun not intended. Anytime I say shadow with Nocturne, it's not intended, but you know, it is kind of funny to say. And now we can obviously cut off the Lee Sin track because he has to understand where he is. Now, just back to the caption point, this is going to respawn at 3:55 to 4 minutes. So the Lee Sin knows, look, I died here, that sucks. Nocturne has to go down here. Probably he'll take all of this, but if he ganks us, okay. I can, at the very least, take some of my blue side, scuttle, and this, and then maybe even sync up to this one right afterwards. Probably won't be able to, but at least you get something and you get out. The fact that he does the whole blue side and then only to the Raptors is a big mistake. The Nocturne, though, says, look, Lee Sin, I know you're top side. I know I could go ahead and do my Krugs, but that puts me in a weird position because your blue side is very clearly down because I'm tracking your CS, right? Therefore, if I go Raptors to Krugs, I'm going to have to loop all the way back down to the blue side here. That's not efficient pathing. That's not good jungle fundamentals. And I know you as Lee Sin are going to come down to the bottom side. So why don't I go ahead and burn the set's flash, because we didn't burn it in the first trade. I know Lee Sin's going to show up here. Here we go, fisting, fisting, fisting. We're able to snack up that Raptor pit. We're able to use our tether here. Just keep auto-attacking, keep auto-attacking, keep auto-attacking. Get the passive, which is that big swoop-de-dupe on his AoE, which is great for clearing camps. Look at the damage. You just... Lee Sin showed up and you're like, no, I'm level 4. No, this champion outstat checks other champions when he has a lead. So, while you do want to full clear, while you do want to get a scuttle and gank a lane, if you get invaded and they try to stifle your level 6 game, easy to get out of it. And the champion isn't, again, difficult to play. Hit the Dustbringer, Arcane shifts away from it, our bottom lane is super low. Oh, you better block that Kai'Sa. You better block the Kai'Sa. I know you kind of want to hang around, but let's see. Yeah, I think it's best if our bottom lane just retracts here. We don't coin flip anything, just in case, just in case, just in case. And now you could go for the dragon, but our bottom lane needs to reset. We don't know entirely where Lee Sin's going to go next. At this point, in theory, he should go to the top side, yes. But how many times have we seen junglers do random things? Very random things. And obviously, the Lee Sin took the Krugs here, Wardhub's out, and, you know, I don't really care about that whatsoever, because 301, 3.2k gold to 1.9k. Look at the gold. The CS is the same as a farming jungler who is now out-ganked to ganking jungler. And we have a significant gold lead. Nocturne is easy because the baseline game style is logical. Farming, full sequencing, scuttling, getting ganks, and then playing around your 6. But if they try and throw you off from that, you're okay playing and adapting because you know once you do get that lead, you'll be able to very easily stack check people. Who's going to get it? The Lee Sin does get it. We didn't expect it. We didn't have flash. I mean, I think we did expect it kind of because we know he took our Krugs as set checked, Jace checked rather, and we know that it just spawned. So I think there is a school of thought, and I would coach this here. I would say, look, you fall back to these things, right? After your ganks in the bottom side, well, in this case, just shadowing so that they don't get killed. You fall back to this. At this point, at least it must be top side. Your Krugs were just taken, your red's just spawning. He's probably thinking, aha, I'm going to invade your red. This is where I kind of like think out loud a little bit. Could I just do blue and get 6? And then all bottom lane, you know, if the timing works out nicely. And if it doesn't work out nicely, here I've got an RNG scuttle on the bottom side. But look, it does work out nicely. So while it can be good to do this Korean style of, he's trying to take my red, I'm going to deny it. It's also really good to say, I accept that you are going to take my red. I'm going to get so much more for it. That's a dumb play by you. And of course you have to because you're desperate because I'm smurfing on you. And Nocturne does allow this. So in this case, this, and ulting bottom lane, or just doing the dragon, I like these plays better than trying to defend the potential invade of our red. And I feel like the Nocturne did lose a little bit of tempo doing this. And yeah, the Lee Sin is just going to fall back over here and get a 6. We'll get our 6 after these Raptors, of course. And then we can use it on the set, maybe. There we go. W's down as well. Huge. We get ulted. We can try spell shield that, but it doesn't really matter. 6-0. 3.7k gold, the next highest in the game is 2.9 to the Fizz. Like, you are substantially far ahead. And the issue now is we're a little bit out of mana, so while I would like to go do that Herald, Lee Sin's probably sequencing the Quadrant, could still collapse on us with Cannon Prio, so you don't want to overpush it. Here we see that, so now we go back to booze. And they might assume we're going to go down to the bottom side now, but instead you can flex to the top side and go straight for the Herald, because we anticipate that Lee Sin will do the same, right? Nocturne's gonna go bottom side, right? He wants that Hextech Dragon, 100% huge for him. His blue's up, the Scuttle Crab's up, he might gank bottom lane, his ult is down. Maybe I can snack this away. So here we have a bit of a tug of war over, you know, where we're gonna path and things like that. The Nocturne's decided, I think, actually to basically say, look, I know he's probably gonna get the Herald, I can do nothing about it. I might as well just go ahead and gank the cannon, try to help my Jace, give up the Herald, but make sure that there's nowhere that the Lee Sin can use it up here, right? So we're cutting off that play. That I will say, I do prefer sometimes, especially in these cases, look, I expect he's going to Herald, he just took the Herald, I don't think I can get there in time to contest, what's the top lane situation like, maybe I should just go do the Dragon and take his whole red side. So while this guy is Grandmaster in Korea, you can see that issues you guys have in games, everyone has. Like, do I cut off the enemy jungler for what they're trying to do? Or do I let him do it and then just get a whole bunch more somewhere else? I prefer the latest style quite vehemently. when you're playing a farming style jungler because it's all about golden experience and econ. So if he's going to waste a lot of time here, I'm taking this, taking all this, I'm maybe ganking this again, and if not, I'm at least taking the dragon. My ult is up again. I can ult here, He's going to come back to base, show up, nothing, nothing. Try get into my blue sub, but I've already taken it. I'm dragging him along. I much prefer that playstyle. But with Nocturne, either works. It just depends on your timing because the champion's broken. Champion's Giga strong and broken. So, ult up, 20 seconds. Lee Sin will have to ward hub away from that fear tether. Presses Q, hits nothing. And this is the whole point of that top lane gank as well. You know, I don't mind being 80% of what I could be if you're only 40% of what you could be. And again, it's okay to do these things, but I much prefer here all of bottom side, all of dragon, level 8, you know, that's just more fun. We do use our spell shield there. Lee Sin's Q hit, fish into, well, basically the Mordor invasion of his soul. And now we're going to chase down the set here, and we just go for the flash autos. Again, this is the passive right here. You see that? Every 13 seconds, Nocturne's next attack strikes all enemies 75% AoE, right? And obviously you heal from that also. So every time you see that when you're clearing, you get some AoE, that's why it's huge, and also you restore a bit of HP, which, you know, people don't really focus on these little things, on these simple champions. Now, Jace, Cannon, dead, Fed, Nocturne, Strikebreaker complete here, huge advantage. Lee Sin, 99% going to the bottom side, so we kind of want to communicate this to our bottom line. Listen, friends, I'm going to go do the Krugs and Raptors. My ult is down, so I'm not looking to force something too much. Lee Sin should show up down there. In theory, he could swap. Who knows at this particular stage? You don't know 100%, but he's going to want to use that Herald to infuse himself with cash as well as his team. I will just do Krugs, Raptors, get myself some more gold, and observe. That's what Nocturne does very well. He observes. Set Perma shoves out, moves down, so we know Lee Sin should be looking to make a play here. The Scuttle is still available. We're going to base right now. Try and go into that Black Cleaver GA combo. 3-atom Spike is a match for power. If you are not able to buy a BF sword after Stride, Black Cleaver, and then finish the GA to end games, I would say, even though you are playing a scaling farming jungler who has split push capabilities, you're probably too passive. So look to be more active, look to really get this kind of gold lead in the game, right? Because you want that as Nocturne. Because again, you can't fall off when it comes to team fights. So, there's a 2v1 going on in the mid lane. Here, nice E by the set. W is going to be used. Flash over the wall by the Fizz. Ward up by the Lee Sin to get that Q, to get that execute. The Nocturne's going to say, look, well, that's not Lee Sin, because Lee Sin's mid lane using the Herald. So, Nico, you must be, dead. She got blown up. The Herald will be pushed here. They're going to try and get as much of this turret as they can, if not all of it. Nocturne says, look, I'm strong enough to hold. And this is where you need to track things, okay? Because, I just slowed it down, because the Kai'Sa's gone back to base. So keep an eye on that. The Fizz is respawning in 9. So they're all going to be focusing on this turret. Nocturne has just got so much damage at this point. Even though he's down 2 levels to the set, he can still hang with them very, very easily. So, while they're focusing turret, he's focusing them. Obviously, he gets pulled back in here by the E. He hasn't used his spell shield yet. He's got the Dustbringer coming off cooldown to trail them. Hits that one. Don't forget the Nico. Don't forget the Ezreal. Ignite goes down on the set. The Q hits. We don't use our spell shield because we're going to wait to use that one. There we have the set repositioning. Ezreal shows up. We do kill the Lee Sin. Nico shows up for a nice big ultimate. Is able to kill the Kai'Sa. Fortunately, the set is also dead for the blue team. Fizz shows up. He will kill the rest of the Nico. Nocturne's just spacing in the back line, and now we can go do a dragon maybe, or we can go steal some camps. Really up to you. But while that was a bit of a tight moment, if you watch the main channel video I just released, I like to kind of have thematic cohesion between the champions that I make content on in a week. And I looked at a, again, Nocturne video on the main channel, talking about these underused, underrated sort of, or overlooked rather, fundamentals. And one of them is around here 12 to 14 to 15 minutes. If you have the lead, very few low and even diamond junglers, they don't, memes aside, they don't use the push principle enough. They don't use the force principle enough, which is where, hey, I have a huge lead here. I know they're taking this turret, but you don't just give it up. You say, I'm the most fit member in the game. I'm going to stop here. And this is where I'm going to force a play. Hey, the second dragon or first dragon, whatever. No, we need this. I'm not giving it to you for free. I need to carry this game. I'm going to fight this out. I'm going to force it because we can win here. I can carry this moment. You are not fed enough at 12 to 15 to know whether you should force or not force a moment. You're typically not going to have control of the games. And the Nocturne knows, like, look, I can hold this. I'm watching the back timers. I'm watching everything. I know we can do a lot here. And they could. We take some stuff, we also fall back, and we take this Hextech Dragon. Huge for us, right? Lee Sin and everyone's going to be on the top side. I'm accepting, and I'm okay not forcing a fight over the red buff, because I don't need to right now. holding the turret, taking a dragon, taking a herald, these moments in the mid-game, early game, mid-game transition, that's when Nocturne shines. Because if you have that level 9, 10, 11, 12, and you're ahead, no one's stopping you at that point, right? No one is stopping you. So really focus on, is this the moment where I should really force hold the turret, force hold the fight, force hold to use my lead, or do I really have to give it up and maybe save it for like the next player or so on? But around the time frame, you do want to think about that. Nocturne obviously has ultimate, so we're just playing off of our team here. We say, yo, 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 yo. We get knocked out by the Nico, but it doesn't really matter. The rat is going to try and get away here, so we'll just hit our Dustbringer on him. While we auto-attack the Nico, and now we're 9-0-4. This is proactive, aggressive, flow-based Nocturne gameplay. There's nothing weird or wonky or difficult about what he did here. He didn't know where the Lee Sin was, so he didn't vertical. He suspected as much when Kennen behaved himself on the Raptor's red Krogstad. He won the 2v2 with PvP nature, took the red and ganked the bottom lane versus just taking camps, because why counter jungle red Raptor's Krugs when I can take red and kill your bottom lane? Right? So he knew exactly what to snowball and when, and he cut out some camps of counter jungling to get better leads for himself and his team. And this jungle impact is the most important thing. Yes. Now, gold. 8.0, next on our team. 5.7 and 6.0 to the Fizz and the Kaiser. Enemy team, 6.0 to the Kennen. It's not even close, man. It's not even close. Now, we do see multiple Lee Sins, okay, which is quite funny. And the Nocturne says, look, at this point, right, I forced a fight on the turret and all of this stuff. I'm good now. Now I'm good, because there's nothing really happening. There's Herald spawning. I want to see where this lane goes. I want to see what develops down here. Obviously, Ulta's up again, because Ultimate Hunter rune set. Lethal Tempo is super huge here. Uptime for the so far. Whoa, here we go. Hello. Hello. Hello again, little rat hamster. Ah, the fear tether and the auto attacks. Uptime now 43 seconds. 43 seconds. And the bonus attack range, I cannot stress enough, is so big on Nocturne, because not only for melees who can be kited, but also with someone who can be kited can also not be kited. Right? He presses his Q, and all of a sudden he's not necessarily being kited at all, and he sticks to you even if you have a little bit of mobility. And you use your dash ability and flashes, but he's got an E tether on you. So it's a really good sticky kit naturally, and Strikebreaker even aids in this as well. So everything about the meta, the game, the itemization, and obviously Red Smite applying a slow as well, means that this champion is everything you need to stick to anybody. Anybody. And how do you beat that when they have such a big gold lead? Short answer, you don't. But you try and make plays here when his team is being dumb. But the Nocturne says, look, there's a time to force plays, and there's a time to just counter jungle and get myself even more fed. And that's what you're seeing here. 12 minutes, force it because we can, it's important. Game's in the balance. 16 minutes, guys, what are you doing? Killed Kennen, got a Herald, took his camps. We have a huge lead. Almost 3 levels. What are you doing? And you just make sure you keep yourself like this all the time. Get your camps, get your farm, get your CS, get your objectives. Be careful here for deep vision. I would assume that Lee Sin and someone, yeah, there you go. I would assume that Lee Sin and everyone is looking to kind of make this dive because nothing else they can do. So we shadow this again, ha 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 ha. Ult activated. Darkness brought forth. Use a spell shield on the set ult there. Much better. Get the fear on the finish of the channel. Hit the Dustbringer. Miss it. Doesn't really matter. Kennen tries to go in. Gets knocked back by the Hammer of Death or Arcane. We have the Lee Sin going back in here. We hit the Dust Trail on the Lee Sin here. We get kicked out. Now it's a 3v4. Hook does hit. And we're going to stick on the main targets to carry them. Kill them, rather. Carry them, kill them, whatever. A whole team rotates over. And everybody's dead but the Ezreal who ults. Spell shield. Heads up play. We do have the Herald, but why use it now? Could use it now, but you can basically push this turret. I would advise everyone to push the mid lane turret, but the Nocturne's like, look, yes, I could push turrets right now, but, you know, I can take my camps, reset, go, finish off, you know, a stopwatch here, which is huge, because we already had this. You saw that, right? We already had this big time. Now, this is going to spawn. Now we can think about using this because we can use it around another objective. So I don't always like using that second Herald when everyone's dead. I like to use it when I can force a split in their behavior. So now, again, set, over pushing, ult, kill. It's up again every, what was that, 55 seconds at this point? Now, if the enemy team were ahead, or had a more mentally strong team, but again, they can still win this game. Like, don't get it wrong, right? It's like the modern NBA. 20-point leads 30 years ago were a big deal. They're not a big deal now. 20-point leads go away like this. And thanks, Steph Curry. And we've got the same kind of thing in League of Legends. Like 25-8 looks big. It is big. You should always win. But the gold lead's only 6 to 7K. they scale, like, you can throw pretty easily, right? One bounty, one objective taken, you get Elder, they get it. Like, there are always ways, you know, that you can potentially win. I'm not an advocate for not FFing. If a game's totally over, it's over, but this comp on the left can do things because only Nocturne is fed. If they kill Nocturne, they win the game, right? It's not like the whole team is giga fed. So the Nocturne then decides, look, you're over pushing as well. I'm just going to ult and kill the cannon. Again, every 54 seconds is not a long time in the mid game and the late game. Kai'Sa's just here, good fear, another death. So the Herald needs to be used pretty shortly. Yeah, there we go. Just look at this on your HUD versus this because this is still glitched. But, as I was saying, before I went on the rant there, now's a good time to use it. Yeah, people are dead, but he's going to be going for this bounty, so I want to apply this pressure down here because we've got 2 there. If their whole team is dead and there's no real push we can do because our team's not together, it doesn't work really. But I like it when either everyone of their team is up, and there's a dragon or bear, and I want to misdirect them, force someone to hold so I get numbers advantage for a fight, or in this case where half of the team is dead, someone's splitting, you can force this, which means this gives you time pressure too, because someone will have to go hold this and kill it. You can go back to base now, buy GA, and come back down. Although I wouldn't buy GA here, actually. We still have the stopwatch. So I might, like, if we were going into Shojin in this particular game, or whatever situation, I might just start to build Shojin, keep the BF sword on the stopwatch, so I actually get to use a stopwatch before I upgrade it to GA. Does that make sense? But it's also not wrong because the stasis from GA is not the stasis from stopwatch, so it's good, right? It's a better thing for the fight, but just as a sort of thinking out loud kind of itemization thing, but you know, in this case it's fine. The armor, the AD, the stasis is huge. Hello! Once more, and that's all he really does. He just presses R and people die. And why go assassin when you can do this with Stridebreaker and this build? It's ridiculous. So, good use of the Herald, good use of a pick, numbers advantage is gained, their support is dead, the AoE fight is dead, the synergy with the cannon, he's down bottom side anyway. Jace is TP, cannon is TP. Lee Sin's gonna try and position to steal, but the whole team just pulls off. And now the Nocturne's like, well, I don't need the whole team to pull off, could someone maybe, like, you know, not let me sit in the bottom of the pit here by myself, but they're able to do it. That is the right play, to pull off and kill the Lee Sin, but I mean, surely only one is necessary. Like, surely only Fizz is needed to kill the Lee Sin at 373, but yeah, just be careful there. Junglers and teammates alike. Almost lost a GA for free. It's amazing how even in high elo Korea, people just do not respect that ultimate, and again, that's another thing. It's such a dominating macro tool, such a dominating macro ultimate. And if you are behind, and he's built the good items, Stride and Black Cleaver, both broken, obviously, there's nothing you can do. You have to accept your fate, and now he goes deep. They knew all along. They weren't buying into your games. Fall back to the blue side, obviously, now we've got more components to build. We got a Phage plus a pickaxe. I do like the Sterix very much. Very much. Especially when you have such big leads. Like, you don't need the Shojin. I was just kind of saying hypothetically. But, you know, the Sterix is great too. Assist for the Kai'Sa there on the W. Just because, like, how do they kill someone with GA and Sterix with this lead? They don't. Unless you tragically misplay. It's okay to give the red there to the Kai'Sa. I mean, I know why you might not want to, but... Next dragon is up. You saw there with such a big lead, though. He didn't worry about doing the dragon, yeah? There we go. Hello, I'm in vision. Or you're in vision, rather. Nico does try and root us. Does successfully root us. He's going to ult there. Obviously, we do have no spell shield at this point. It is up again. Ezreal ultimate. Jace is top lane. Lee Sin's top lane. And this should be a straightforward push to the end now. You know, Fizz played a good game. But at one point, he was not that far ahead in cash money gold, right? Like, he's at 11,800 now. But for a while, it was just the Nocturne. By far. Everyone else was equal except for the Nocturne. Understand your 1v9 capability on this champion. It is astronomically huge, and I cannot stress enough that yes, while the template for your farming temp is important, you cannot be so singularly sucked into it. Because if you get compromised, if you see good ganks and you don't take them, you're going to lack jungle impact, and that's just as important as farming because the good jungle impact allows you to farm more overall. And obviously, outstat check absolutely everybody, and there's nothing they can do about it. Nocturne. If you want to climb fast, this is the one you do. You play this champion and come to Virkayu.gg.